Are you at Smiles Place?
I am.
You are. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They changed it. There's like vines and ish now. What the heck?
Yeah, it's a total vibe in here. They have vibe. You can't see them because they're not lit up, but there's like vibe lights and everything too.
Wow. I love it. So you're working with them today?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been hanging out with them too. So we're gonna watch the new old Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, like the third of the prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Nice. So you're in LA.
Yeah, I'm not in Tokyo.
And it's so cool because I'm talking with Smile tomorrow for an episode. And
Tuesday, you mean?
Tuesday, you're right. It was supposed to be yesterday, but it's Tuesday now.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't ever know my own ish. But that's how I met them, was because of you. And we did ADHD AF together, and yeah, it's just been like super cool getting to work with you guys, of course.
Yeah.
So you're just watching a movie and chilling there today, then?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll probably work on music a little later tonight, but the vibe is Ruben found this special cut of Revenge of the Sith where they take Clone Wars, which is like this other Star Wars show, and they spliced it in, so it's all one big story.
Oh, wow.
But it's like 4 hours long, so we're in for it.
Yeah. I don't think I could sit down for that long.
Yeah. We're going to have to take breaks.
Yeah. So the hair's still orange. I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're doing it yourself, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, yeah. So how's quarantine been for you? Are you hanging in there all right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be creative, to be honest. You would think, like, the first thing they told us when we shut down was, everyone get to your desks. This is like prime time. I remember getting all these beat packs from people, and they're like, quarantine beats, things to do in quarantine.
Yeah.
And spirits were up. And then, as we're kind of deep into it now, it's that whole sit at your desk and it's quarantine time. It's like that energy's kind of gone.
Yeah,
but
it's been a long time, and we just reclosed again.
Yeah, restaurants aren't open anymore.
Yeah.
Neither bars. I didn't go to either while they were open, but
me either. No.
I can't remember the last time I was in a restaurant.
Me either. I mean, besides picking up, I don't miss it at all.
Really?
No.
I do.
But you're a foodie. See, it's different.
I am a foodie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that because I remember when we first met, you made it a point, and I loved that you did this, and I've taken it into consideration when working with other people since doing it with you. It is set up a lunch, just go out and hang and get to know each other and talk. And before we even got into the studio, we were sitting at that table eating, and we got the title. We knew we were going to write a song called ADHD AF because we were just talking. And I was like, basically all you need to know is I'm ADHD AF. And you're like, that's it. So it's like, I love that. And I know food's a big part of your life, but in that regard too, like going out and getting to know people and having it be a more like kind of set a personal tone before getting in the work mode.
Right.
Is really
because it's so hard to just get in the studio and just be in that mode right away.
Yeah.
And going to a restaurant or something, it's a really nice way to just kind of ease people into the session.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find the title because you just get so comfortable, and eventually you're just talking about life, and that's where songs come from,
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually on a writing session the day before yesterday with an Atlantic artist, and it was cool because I think he and I kind of write the same.
Cool.
He'll be like on his guitar, like working out a melody, and he does like the gibberish thing where he's just like, singing down, like whatever, like gibberish and like finding the melody. And I was able to like kind of transcribe or like, decode some of his gibberish into actual lyrics, like as he was doing them, and he was like obsessed with me for it because
that's amazing.
Do you do the gibberish thing, and can you decode other people's gibberish? Is that something you're familiar with?
I do the gibberish thing.
Yeah.
Lyrics are my least favorite part of every song.
Oh, really?
But you're amazing at
Me?
lyrics, I remember. Yeah, it was so fast,
It
and it was
fast.
so honest.
Well, I thought that was
Yeah.
mostly because of you. I thought you were pulling lots of weight, too.
No.
Well, we remember things differently. I think when you get in a room with someone that you just, like, click with and have experience just separately, and then you come together, and it's like we're speaking the same language, so we can kind of complete each other's sentences in a way, and it feels like we're not really doing as much.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of, it becomes not you or I, it becomes us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so at the end of it, you're like, I'm not sure who did what, but we have this thing now.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it is kind of all a blur every time, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
And I think when you're working by yourself, that's the challenge, right? Is kind of overcoming your over self-awareness, because it's so easy to overthink and think of yourself I don't know, just in a hateful way, you know, like you're always going to pick yourself apart way more than you would pick someone else in the room apart.
Right. Like, you can be mean to yourself way more than anybody else in the world can be mean to you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think part of pushing through that is to just, like, let that voice be, because it's always going to be there. But to just kind of let it float there and let it drive you sometimes. I mean, some of my best records, I'm sitting there and the voice in my head is telling me, this is so lame, I've heard this before. And I'll go through and I'll change the kick or the snare or whatever, and the song gets better. So, you know, turn your enemies into friends, I guess.
Yeah, so you said words that, like, straight out my mouth. Sometimes I'll use the negative voices as lyrics. Have you ever?
Right.
I mean, it's really easy when you're actually feeling in the moment frustrated about the song, and you can actually literally put that frustration into, like, the story.
Right, yeah. I've written a couple songs about literally not being able to write the song.
Yes.
You know?
Yep. And
It's
actually,
how...
I recently kind of did that. I was playing something at the guitar, and, you know, just with everything going on in the world, there's just so much happening, and it's like there's not enough room in a song for everything I want to say, which is partly why I started this podcast. This was a quarantine project.
Oh, okay.
So do you feel like there's enough space in the song, or do you like that? Do you like simplifying the story?
Well, sometimes I find if an emotion's like too big to fit into a song, you fit it into multiple. Make an EP or something.
That's true.
You know, I was recently working with this artist Nala in Tokyo, who was going through some hard times with like relationships and stuff, and she felt like she had been victimized, or, you know, not victimized. What's the opposite of victimized? Like, it just kind of like everyone is putting the blame on her.
Okay.
She felt trapped in all these things, and so we made this whole EP about like being put in jail and breaking out of it. You know, and so we tried to put it into one song, and we got just a piece of the story, because sometimes those emotions are too big for one song. So, you know, maybe make a quarantine EP. That'd be awesome, and I'd love to help you with it. You know,
I know that you're a big single guy, though.
Yeah,
you like putting out singles, and I'm the same way. And I have found my own little pace with it. I think it's primarily because if I let it sit and I do other songs, then I go back to the first one and I'm like, well, hate it, gotta start over. Like, I can't sit with it too long, otherwise I'm gonna find things wrong with it. So, like, releasing it right away helps me to not tinker and, like, throw it away almost, you know?
Right.
Have you done albums? Or, I mean, I know you have done albums, but now you're mostly doing singles. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, well, actually, over quarantine, this is the best thing to come out of quarantine for me. I have an album. So I have a 10-song album done. It's actually at mixing.
Oh, my God.
Which is why I'm at the Smile place. Ruben's mixing it.
Oh, my God.
So,
hell yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting through that.
That's so great.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I've been a singles guy for a long time, and you're absolutely right. But after doing this album and being able to, like, tell a story front to back and kind of have the experience be longer than, like, 3 minutes, like, really, like, I feel like the flow of this record is something I really focused on.
Mm-hmm.
So just from front to back, it's like one big journey. And being able to do that was like really, it changed my experience. Now I'm like all about albums. I love albums. Yeah.
But okay,
Like,
but see, you had the time to do it all in one go, right?
right.
That changes things when you're not busy doing, traveling and going around writing with other people. You could dedicate your time and just get it done in one stroke.
Exactly.
How long did it take you?
About a month and a half.
Oh my God, that's so quick. That's so quick. It's great. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's featuring a lot of my favorite like Japanese artists that I've worked with in the past, and so like the entire album is basically like a love letter to Japan, because
wow.
Yeah, I mean it really, like, going to that country for the first time really reignited something in me and gave me like a new kind of purpose in life, and so as a kind of thank you, I decided to make the album all about that.
Did you come up with a title yet?
Yeah, it's called The Phantom of Dogenzaka.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting that. Because when you said it's like a love letter to Japan, I was like, a love letter to Japan is like, that would be a really great title for it. But you've got all this figured out already. I wasn't expecting you to just lay it out like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's great. All right. And so it's 10 tracks. And what, because I know your music, and you produced most of this yourself?
Yeah, it's all produced by me.
Can we expect kind of like a typical sound that we know from you, or have you diverted at all? Honestly,
you'll hear some of it, but the whole record is just like genreless. There's rock songs, there's like trap metal songs on it. There's an EDM drinking song. And then we have like sad boy trap and stuff like that. Like it's all over the place. I really tried to just like every feeling of the story is the genre of the song. So, in the story, just briefly, I was in an experience where, I went out drinking with friends and there was this giant bar fight. Cops showed up and all this stuff, and I'm in a foreign country and I can barely navigate by myself. And so I'm trying to like figure out what's going on, and punches are being thrown and cops are coming, and then eventually having to run from the cops and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I know. And that whole experience ended up turning out to be 3 songs on the record. And then, so I kind of shaped the record around that, where it's like the record starts showing up in Japan and all these daytime things, and then that happens, and then it's kind of like navigating life after that and stuff like that. So.
And were you at all involved in this starting of a bar fight in Japan, Seann?
No. I was an innocent bystander, and I just tried to, kind of, sneak through the crowd. And,
wow, that's so crazy that you got 3 songs out of something. Because I guess for me, something has to happen to me. Like, I have to be like emotional. I mean, maybe you were affected by this, but you weren't.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you say a drinking metal song. Is that one of them that's correlated to this?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So there was a vibe. It was an experience that was unique, and you were able to pull from it because of it.
Right. Exactly.
Well, that's crazy. I can't wait to hear it. Do you have a release date yet?
No. So, we just started mixing with Ruben from Smile.
Yeah.
And once he's done with that, I'll pick a release date. But I'm hoping for fall. Also in fall, so this is where it gets a little difficult. Do you remember the Shadow Service?
Yeah.
Yeah, the metal band. So we finally got the okay from the label. We're going to start putting out songs in fall. So, yeah, everyone on here, please check that out.
Yes, Shadow Service. So tell them a little bit about your back history and your experience with them, because we're talking about you as an artist independently right now, but you're part of a lot of really cool projects.
Yeah, so, I met up with Smile, which is a DJ group, consisting of Louis and Ruben, who are great friends of mine now. And basically, first we just started. They just wanted a top liner, and we got to know each other that way. And I just kept coming in and kept working with them, and there was just something about the vibe there, and we got along. And then just one day we decided to mess around, and we started making metal music. Because they're both huge metalheads. Like, I would actually say that, like, out of the three of us, Louis is probably the biggest metalhead, Ruben's the most technical metalhead, and I just like heavy shit, like knock loose. But like,
Yeah.
Louis is top metalhead, I would say. And
what kind of metal are we talking here? Because I'm a bit of one myself. Anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I would say their favorite is probably Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
A little more mainstream than I was expecting with how much you're raving about it with them. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll have to talk to Louis about.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but Avenged Sevenfold seems to be the favorite.
Okay.
Mine is Knock Loose, but I'm more into the contemporary metal. I've never been like an old school metalhead.
Yeah, I can appreciate both, but I get that. I mean, obviously Metallica and Megadeth and like big old school. I don't know. Are they old?
Yeah.
I guess they're old school.
Okay.
So that's kind of.
Yeah, the Black Album was like one of the first CDs I ever owned. So
yeah.
I don't know, but contemporary metal is always what's really attracted me.
Yeah, and I think that's a cool place to come from. I love when writers who are in the pop world making mainstream music, when they have like that background in jazz or classical or metal or like something totally seemingly different, but they actually can. I just think when you hear those influences, that's what creates someone's sound apart from being just the bubblegum poppy whatever. And I hear it in your music all the time. You just released a song called Heavenly, right?
Right, yeah.
When did you release that?
Let's see. It was only a couple weeks ago. I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I love it. It's even a little more, I don't want to say trap, but like, a
little bit, yeah.
Kind of. It just has, it's even more mainstream than I think I've heard from you recently on your singles. Did you collaborate with someone on that one? Is that all you?
That's all me, yeah.
So
that one happened from a jam. So it was my last day. I was coming back to LA from Japan, and a friend of mine, Neki, who's like an amazing guitarist, we're just playing jazz chords because I was just feeling like jamming. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just want to sit at the piano and just sing random stuff, just get it out. And he played the chords in the song, and I just started singing that melody, like that whole thing. And it just kind of like, we're like, yo, this is something. But unfortunately, I had to go back. So I got off the plane, and I was setting up everything in my studio at home. And I look at my email, and he sent me the guitar chords and like a couple other things. And I immediately went to work on it. Yeah. And, I made a beat, like a kind of a trap beat out of it, and laid down all those vocals and made a verse and stuff like that. The song was done in about 2 days, but I was so jet lagged. I didn't listen to it for about, like 4 or 5 days after, because it was just sleeping.
Dude, I totally feel you on that. Like, even when I've never had really the excuse of jet lag, but like, I just need to step away from it. And when you come back with a fresh ear, at least for me, like I forget the whole thing and I'm experiencing like I'm hearing it for the first time. And it's really helpful in order kind of to be your own second ear and judge of like what needs to happen with it.
Right. Because like there's this like kind of magic that goes away the more that in depth of music you get. Like, because like I remember listening to metal records, and it wasn't like I was going like, oh, that guitar sounds really well mixed, and oh, like that snare drum sounds sick. Like it was just kind of the whole experience of this sound coming at me. And now that I've gotten more into music, it's like I can't hear the instruments as one a lot of the time unless I step away from the song.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just like, oh, that part's a little too loud, and oh, I like that shaker, but it's way back you're
It's
hearing
so
too deep.
OCD. It's so
Yeah.
OCD. It's so tedious. It's so macro, tiny, like little
Yeah.
decisions you're making. You'd be really proud of me, Seann.
Yeah?
I've been producing.
What?
And like the last 3 singles I released, I did completely myself.
Well, they sound fantastic. I was going to ask you about that.
It's me. It was like a year ago.
Wow.
That I was like, I'm going to learn how to produce myself. By a year
Right.
from now, I'm going to be able to release a song. Well, it was less
Hell
than
yeah.
that. It was only like 8 months, and I felt comfortable enough to do it. So I'm really proud of myself because I was just like, it's hard in LA to work with people, and then with COVID and everything, didn't even know that was going to be
Yeah.
coming. You really have to have some kind of at least baseline setup at home.
Right.
And it's nice to be self-sufficient. It feels really nice.
Right? Oh.
And I mean, because
so
I'm an
proud of you.
artist. Like, I just want to put music out, and people is hard. Everybody's busy. Everybody's other places, and it can get challenging when there's like so much I just want to do that I can't do,
Yeah.
and then now I can. So I've been working on that, and I've been getting really comfortable with it. And it's like a whole other creative process. It's almost,
Right.
for me, it's enhanced my writing so tremendously, because ideas
Amazing.
and like random accidents will happen, and it's like the song is different because it's just not me figuring it out behind the piano. It's like there's so many other variables that form the song. You love producing, I know.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah, I
self-taught
do.
too, or did you go to school?
I am.
You are.
I started producing for the same reason you did.
Yeah.
I wanted, there was no one else I could go to get my ideas down, and so I just watched YouTube tutorials until I could do it myself.
Yep.
Do you find, now you can speak in 2 different languages almost? Because, at first you could only speak in your voice in the piano, and now you can speak with the sounds as well. Are you finding that you kind of, unlocked that?
Definitely, and still exploring sonically, and it's really cool because I've been really pushing myself. This whole thing has been me trying to push myself out of what I would normally do.
Right.
And I find that sounds that if I was sitting in a room with a producer and we were going through things and making a beat for me together, I'd be like, no, I don't like that one. I'm going to try that one anyway. I'm going to pull it in. I'm going to put some verb on it, and we're going to see. And then it turns into something that's way better than I would have ever expected. But, when you're in a room directing, with someone else and producing verbally and not just playing with stuff, it's hard to know what's going to be cool until you try it.
Yeah.
So that there's so much ease with just me being able to try stuff. I've been having so much fun with it.
Hell yeah.
And when you travel, do you produce too? Do you have a little travel rig?
Yeah, I do. So I have my Apollo and my laptop, and then I have these 2 cute little 3-inch speakers. They're yeah.
I need these.
They're called, I know, right? They're Genelecs, and they sound amazing. On par with the speakers I have in my studio at home. But they're just tiny little things like this.
Are they USB or?
No, you have to hook them into the interface.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but they're amazing. So that's my whole little travel rig.
And then do you have good headphones too that you use on planes and stuff?
Yeah. I just got these Sennheiser, I forget what they're called, 80 something.
Okay.
But they're really good, nice and flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I find I don't think I've ever really worked on a song on a plane, because I hate the feeling of when you're on the laptop, right, and there's someone next to you. I just hate that feeling of oh, sorry, all the time. And then if I get too in the zone making music, I'm just doing that all the time.
Yeah. No,
And
I get it. It's
I was just I just do it when I land now.
Yeah, I feel you on that, because I went on my little tour the beginning of this year, and I was so excited. I put it all together. I got my little studio plane rig, together, and I had my headphones and my external chargers and drives Velcro to the side and like I was ready, you know? And I just loved looking out the freaking window. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, but how freaking lucky are we to live in a time to get in a freaking metal vehicle and be in the freaking sky?
I know.
It's so beautiful to me. Like I would get off planes and my neck would be kinked because I was just like this the whole freaking time looking out the window.
That's beautiful.
I just love planes. I don't know. I wish that this COVID thing didn't happen because I had Europe planned and like I was gonna be able to be in so many more planes. But I got a lot of song and inspiration from traveling.
That's awesome.
So I wasn't really producing on planes. I was kind of just taking it in.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes you have to just do that, you know?
Definitely.
Because otherwise you have nothing to make.
Yeah. I think that's kind of why I started this Boss Pod too, is because I felt that there's so much more to creativity and being an artist than just what you hear and see on the internet. Like,
right.
And I don't mean in a face value way, but I mean that is literally the end point of this huge, long, all these butterfly effect experiences that led to that final result. And all of that includes our entire lives, you know, how we think, how we do things, and all our experiences. And I just felt like there was, I want to talk about it because it really is, it's a hard and suffering, but extremely full and gratifying thing to be an artist, you know? Where do you feel you pull your most your inspiration from? Do you feel like you just take time and live life and make that and like be intentional about that?
Well, I think one thing that helps is I'm a Pisces. So I'm always searching for things that make me like feel, you know, like I just really want to like have something reach out and grab me in the chest, you know? And I think because of that, I absorb that energy. And then the music I love to make is that same kind of thing. Like, I really want the music to come out and touch the person and make them feel something, whether it's like goosebumps or like happy and wanting to dance. Like, I just want to create something that makes me feel like those things that I search to find, you know? So, yeah.
No, I love that. Seriously, because I was thinking that the other day, that we really are, if we step back, if we're able to step back, we really are the best judge of what other people are going to receive from it, what audience, whatever. But I don't want to make it business. I just want to make it people. And at the end of the day, we're trying to make people feel something. And that's kind of something too with the production that I think I'm getting better, but I think feel has been not really a challenge, but more of like the mystery in the room when I'm producing, where it's like, what is this going to feel like? What is this going to make how is it going to make someone move? How is it going to, you know, not just in an emotional sense, but like music is a vibration. And all the little decisions that you make in a production equates to whatever that's going to end up being. Do you have any tricks for that? Like, do you kind of hum something out ahead of time, or do you just play around with it in the DAW? Like, it's tough to find the pocket of the feel.
Yeah. Lately, I would say, and this is the biggest thing that'll help, is find a picture or find a music video or something like that. Like, lately what I've been doing is I'll have two screens up, and on one screen I'll have like a music video, or if I'm writing a song about like, you know, some place that I love or something like that, or a place that gives me a feeling about what I want to write about, I'll just put it on loop on YouTube on one of the screens. And then you go back to, you know, what you're writing and you see this picture in your head. And not only will it make your production and your writing better because you kind of have given your brain a target, it makes your mixes better. I've heard from a lot of like mixers that image is really key because like if you can picture the mix, then you can make it sound more real, you know, because you have a frame of reference.
Wow, that's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. Is Is that some weird, like, mind freak thing where it's like a subconscious process is happening and for some reason it creates that effect? But it seems to me like a vision, like an image, or are you saying like in your mind, ideally, the shape that you're trying to make, seeing that ahead of time?
Both.
Both.
I find that the YouTube videos and the images help because you can just look at it and take in that feeling. And then that's like your active reservoir for that feeling and that image and that feeling. So, because when you go back, when you're choosing instruments and you have this thing in your head, you're going to be like, no, that doesn't sound like that. That doesn't sound like that. You know, like if you, like, this is a crazy example, but say you have the Care Bears on, you're not going to go through and choose really heavy drums.
Right.
You know, you're going to choose things that feel soft and feel happy because that's what that image, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So it's kind of like, I guess it is a brain hack in a way.
I think
but
it is.
It's really focusing your intentions, and it helps a lot.
I think it does many things. I think it helps with indecisiveness. I think it helps you getting out of your own way with your predetermined ideas of how you think you're supposed to sound or what you do, you know? And then also randomness. I think randomness is such an underrated tool because one little spark of just some random thing that you see on the screen and it makes you think of a cello and you're like, I'm going to just do it. Magic happens when you just like stumble upon stuff. And the more that you can spark randomness, I've been finding that things just fall into place easier because you're not making something. It's just you're allowing something to come out.
Right. And it's kind of like, you know, I think I asked you this in our session, you know. One question I always ask is like, what does the music video look like? Where are we in the music video?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a very similar thing. It's like you're trying to focus on the end product. And especially because we live in this world where everything is video. You know, if like you're just putting out songs, like eventually you need a music video.
Yeah.
Like
those have been so hard, dude.
I know.
Like I could be popping songs out every other week if it wasn't for all this other ish I have to do around the song.
Yeah. It's true.
How do you deal with that? Do you, I'm sure that in different songs it's been different situations, but do you have friends? Do you just like do it on your phone? Like how do you hack that?
Well, to be honest, I'm not taking my own advice. I don't have any music videos. I have
hard.
one music video that I shot about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I told myself that if I found a song that was doing well enough, I would do a music video for it. You know what I mean? And,
okay, but then you could challenge that. Sorry, no, I don't want to put you on the spot, but it's like
well enough?
Sometimes the video is what helps the success of the song to begin with. So you can't really wait to see if it does, because it might be the video that brings people to it in the first place.
It's true.
Just not to challenge you, put you on the spot, but challenged, I guess. You know, I'm a fellow artist. We got to get our little demons out of our heads.
Challenge accepted.
But it's hard, man. I mean, I did some video. I mean, when I first kind of came out as She Nova and decided I was going to brand everything differently and go a different route, my first few videos I did with Taylor. My ex, and we just got like borrowed cameras and like makeshifted it at home. And for the song Bubble that I did with Smile, I used some footage from just my phone because there was like gaps in the video. And it's a really underrated thing, and I think it's actually pretty trendy now to kind of have that lo-fi feel. So I think if it's intentional and you like go in and kind of just get creative and grungy with it, that's what I try to tell myself. But then I say that and it's like I need to challenge myself on my ish because I bought a 4K camera or my fans helped me buy one, and I'm like trying to up my game.
I remember when you were doing the ADHD AF video, you texted me and you're like, Oh my gosh, so I just did this iPhone footage and I put it in because stuff wasn't working and it gave it this human feel I never knew was possible.
Yeah. Oh
And you
no,
were
that
so
was
excited
Bubble.
about
That
it.
was Bubble.
That was Bubble.
Yes.
That was Bubble. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, because I was pulling my hair out about it, and that song literally led me to like a depression. Or not the song even. It was the video. Because I don't know, it's just really hard when you have no team, no other objective thoughts coming in, and I was editing it, so I'm just looking at all this footage, like I and we shot it all in my house, so it's like it was hard to create a storyline from just like kind of a few looks, but I don't know, and especially in quarantine, I'm trying to challenge myself on that too, and just get more creative. And some of the most, I think what I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to learn how to be effective. And effective is not always the best of how we think as an artist. Like, we're going to get a 4K camera and it's going to be this, and I'm going to storyboard the whole thing, and blah, 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 you know?
Not effective, yeah.
It doesn't, I mean, that is, but that's not the only way to be effective, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with some of that. But are you going to do a video in the future? Do you have any picked for the album, or?
Well, the idea behind remember I said it's a whole story.
Yeah.
So the idea was I was going to do a short movie for the album and just have music from the album in this short movie.
Sounds a little lofty. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But COVID is still happening.
Yeah.
So, you know.
You might have the time, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I might have to delay that.
Yeah.
But that was the idea. And hopefully I'll get to do it, because that was kind of, like, when I say picturing something, when you make something, when I made that album, the short movie was always in my head. So I hope I do get to make that, because it's really a part of the project.
How long is it? Do you know from start to finish the album?
The album is about 35 minutes long.
Okay, so that would be the length of the movie.
The movie would be like 15 to 20 minutes long.
Okay, a little less. So there would be some songs excluded.
Well, they'd all be in there, just in snippets. Kind of like the background music of the movie.
Oh, see, okay. Yeah. So I went like Melanie Martinez in my mind, where she had like, the chapters and videos for each song. And it kind of was a whole story encompassing. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how the freak you're going to do that. Like, I don't know how she did that. It's such a crazy production. It's like filming a movie. Okay, but if it's more like a soundtrack thing, all right. So, are there characters? Like, is this?
So I don't want to spoil too much.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just trying. I'm in my mind. I'm kind of trying to help, because I'm like, if you would when
how do you shoot this? Yeah.
Maybe when you were traveling, maybe you have some footage that you could use from your phone to piece the story together, and then in between put like singing shots. Like, I don't know. I didn't know it was going to be like an actual film.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, maybe when COVID's all over, you'll be able to. If not, you can borrow my 4K camera. Go crazy, you know?
Hell yeah. We'll have a day.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a COVID question?
Yes.
Is your mask purple?
Duh. No, actually, it's. I have a ton of masks, because I've been wearing masks since the beginning of the year, because even before COVID was crazy, I was on planes and I just didn't want to risk it, because there was like whispers about it, and I just didn't want to get sick either. You know, I had shows back to back and I just didn't want to feel bad. So I have a ton of masks, like way too many for one girl to own.
Okay.
But it was my birthday recently, and my best friend's a designer. She lives in Minnesota now, but she handmade 2 masks for me. And yes, they're purple, and they actually have a little planet logo on them. They're really cute. I wish I had them to show you. So yes, the answer is yes now. As of my birthday, I do now have a purple one.
Well, first of all, happy belated.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I need to get you an orange one. I need to have her make you an orange one.
I might be too orange.
They're really... Oh. Do you eat carrots? Is that how the hair gets like that?
I was literally eating cantaloupe yesterday with an orange shirt on, and someone was like, "You need to stop." And I was like, "Why?" And just look down. It's just too much.
That happens to me sometimes. I think since ADHD AF, when I was experimenting with like adding a lot of color in that video,
yeah,
I have so much more color in my closet now, and I have way less accidents where I'm accidentally wearing all purple, looking like a freaking pluot or whatever the freak.
Let me get on your level, please.
My art helped me get there. It was just the video randomly. It made me realize that I can go with more colors than just purple. Who knew?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I just had this block in my mind that like purple only goes with so many colors, but that's not the case.
Right.
And same with orange. Like, do the rainbow, dude. Like.
Okay.
I don't know. It's changed my life.
Yeah.
I'm wearing black for the first time in a while. Like, I only wear color now. Like, when I do laundry, I'm like expecting this huge basket of black and gray clothes like it used to be, and it's just all colorful clothes now.
Oh,
maybe that reflects something about my heart now.
Yeah. You found happiness.
I have, and it's been in making music and doing things by myself.
Who knew?
Who knew? Who knew I had it all? All my happiness was right here waiting for me to learn how to do.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think you have your fans to thank for that, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I do have a lot of support from them. Do you feel you get most gratification from things that you do alone, or are you more like an extrovert type where you get your like reward and inspiration from others?
Ooh, that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I love the stuff I do myself, I would say. But also doing something with other people and really like making something bigger than everyone in the room is really exciting. So it's a hard pick. Yeah. Lately, I'm in love with the stuff I'm doing because, after the album, I've really found out who I am as an artist, and I feel like now I can just make Seann Bowe songs really easily.
Wow. Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, so sonically, you figured yourself out more, or more of what you want to say as an artist?
Both.
Oh, wow.
Like the way that I say things, the way that I want to convey the situations I'm in and stuff like that. Like, and also, Hate You was a big eye-opener for me because it's like, it's a sad song, but it's not a sad song. There's hope at the end of it, and that's who I am as a person. Is very, even when I'm depressed, like my friends tell me they can't even tell because I really try and stay optimistic. So trying to make more songs that have like a bright light at the end of them if they are sad.
Yeah.
But what the record really taught me is, as far as sonics go, anything is okay. As long as I'm being myself and it's part of what I want to express, I can make any song, you know?
I always worried
kind
about
of genreless.
that. Like as me trying to figure myself out as an artist too right now, I kind of find myself getting mad at myself a little because I go to my Spotify every once in a while to check the numbers, and it's like I listened through it for the first time, like all of what I've put out this last year, and it's like it's so ADHD. It's like I got sad ballads, and then I've got She Weirdo, and then I've got this dark thing about the George Floyd killing, and then it's ADHD AF comes up, and it's like all over the freaking place. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to forgive myself. It's like, that's part of my brand anyways. And for me, it's always been about honoring the song.
Yeah.
I mean, I always feel I should put the song first before me and my brand. But I don't know if that's right, but it's like the song is either honest or it's not.
Yeah, and I think that's the only determiner of whether it's good or not. Because, like, honesty is the only thing that people will feel in the end, Yeah. If you're not being honest about your sound, if you're not being honest about what you're doing and the life you're living, then this song just sounds cheesy.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I'm so happy you put out Neon Tears. That song is so you.
Oh, thank you. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't produce it. You know, it was just an acoustic version.
Right.
I still think I should produce it. But I'm
I
just.
do too.
I'm not going back on things right now. I kind of have like my head just trying to move forward, but you know, when you're doing things on your own, you can only do so much, and I'm like,
right.
I'd love to have that song produced someday, but I'm just not gonna, you know, put my time into it right now. But thank you. I'm glad that you like that one. And
I mean, the first time you played it to me was acoustic, and it was great then. So, you know, maybe
do
it
you
does
feel
need
it doesn't
to
need
live
it
in
then?
this form. I would love to hear it.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say, and I'd love to hear you do it, because I think you're the one who's going to paint that picture the best. And like, you know, back to what we were talking about, just put on a music video of like a neon music video, you know, and put that on loop. There's websites that'll loop YouTube videos for you, and you just have that on the background. And when you're like, you know, doing the sounds for Neon Tears, like look at that and see if it matches up.
Oh, dang. I never thought to even search that. That's amazing. It just keeps it on. It's such a simple thing, but like, I would have never thought to that, but it's annoying, and it just would then stay up while you're working. Wow. Okay. I'll definitely have to start doing that. That's going to be a new part of my flow. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Let me know how it goes.
Thank you. I will. And I'm really excited to hear the new album. I was a big fan. Like when we first met, I know you were trying to put out singles like once a week, which is amazing. And most weeks you do, it seems. Yeah. You've got more weeks that you do than don't. But at the time, I went back and I was listening to your first album, and you talk a lot about just inner demons, and I related to it so much. And this was before I even wrote with you. But it's like, it's so nice to hear that you're finding the hope at the end of it that you're talking about. And I'm really excited to hear that twist in how you're turning, you know, the tragedies into something hopeful, and there's something to look forward to. But I still love your angsty stuff too. So I don't,
well, that's why we have
let
Shadow
it go.
Service.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I love your voice. And maybe you're not there anymore, but just what you were saying as an artist throughout your journey, and the vulnerable things that you disclose of the darkness that you have to face in your head, just to me is really relatable, and I love that. And to me, I find hope in that. That I'm not the only crazy bonker-ish person in the world. So just know that even though, you know, you're finding ways to express that light, I even hear it in your edgy stuff.
Well, that's awesome. That's great to hear. I mean, that's originally why I wrote that EP, was I wanted people to not feel alone.
Yeah. What was the EP called so we can look it up?
What is it? It's The Forest. The Forest.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
It was called the Self-Medicated EP for like the longest time, and then within the 2 weeks before it got released, I changed the name. So. Okay.
Yeah. I like both names. That's fine. Self-medicated release. Self-medicated what?
EP.
I like that too. That's good too. Why'd you change it? I kind of like that too.
Well, I wanted to paint this whole picture of like this forest of demons, and.
Oh, I get that. No, that discloses it too. That does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if what your time's like. I'm good for however long you want to talk, but I know it's been almost an hour, so I just want to respect you if you have to go.
Oh, it's been an hour already?
It's been about an hour, yeah.
Wow, yeah, we can sign off. That's fine.
But let's keep in touch, okay? And
even
if we just do like little FaceTime and you know, talk more about. I want to hear all the things that you can't disclose to the public about the new album.
Yeah.
And maybe,
I might send it to you.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, I can give some feedback.
Yes, please.
Oh my God, I would love to give feedback. Yay! Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I get the inside. And then just because I'm not doing like intros and outros anymore,
Okay.
I'm keeping things very like Joe Rogan, just we're talking as people. And I think, I think like we were talking about before, thinking of yourself like an audience member, like what you would want to hear.
Right.
I'm now assuming that my audience is as intelligent and ADHD AF as I am. So get to the point and let's get into the deep like right away. So I'm not doing intro outro anymore, but if anybody is still listening, let us know where we can support you and follow you and help you out along your journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So come follow me at Seann Bowe on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. It's SeannBowe. And then go follow the Shadow Service as well at Cult of TSS. We're going to be putting out some music in fall.
Awesome. And Cult of TSS, is that all the socials handles as well?
That's all the socials, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And definitely follow him on Instagram. Is that where you'll be letting us know about when the album comes out and everything?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Seann. And you're such a light and kind spirit. Keep doing you, boo.
You too. It was so good to see you.
You too. Bye, Seann.
Bye.
Say hi to Smile for me.
I will.
Okay, late.